his poetry in the literary magazine The Rag, a member of the track team, a member of the National Honor Society, a top award winner in Spanish, also in the top 5% of his class, and will be attending Bates. Joe Bruno, 1984 Boston Bay State Conference Football All-Conference, Globe Football All-Scholastic, captain of football and lacrosse teams, will be attending Bridgeton Academy. William Connors. William Connors, 1984-85 Bay State Conference Swimming All-Conference, swimming captain, yearbook sports editor, top 10% in his class, will be attending University of Massachusetts. Judy Conry, Eastern Massachusetts Lacrosse All-League, three-sport athlete, member of the Student Activities Council, in the top 20% of her class, and is going to Colgate. Andrew Crouch, an extraordinary musician, National Merit Scholar and Scholarship winner, National Honor Society, winner of the National Council of Teachers of English Writing Award, in the top 5% of his class, attending Cornell next year. Freya David and Jimmy LaCroix, two people who have worked over the years in the office to make our job a lot more pleasant around the office. We're going to miss you. Dan Frisbee, National Merit Scholarship winner, National Honor Society, member of the math team, the German club, the science team, the cross-country team, in the top 5% of his class, going to Carleton College in the fall. F.J. Gould, Student Activities Council President, All Conference in soccer, a baseball player, an excellent student, National Honor Society member, in the top 10% of his class, going to Harvard. You have to form another row there, F.J. Arson Hagen, a member of the chorus and the concert chorale, a lead in Bye Bye Birdie, National Honor Society member, National Merit finalist, a member of the math team, in the top 5% of his class, going to MIT. Lisa Horahan, 2 years Bay State Conference Soccer All-Conference, 1984 Harrell Soccer All-Scholastic, 3 years Bay State Conference Basketball All-Conference, 4 years Bay State Conference Track All-Conference, 1982 State Class B Mile Relay Team member, Championship Team, 1985 300-meter low hurdle champion, 3-sport captain, holds the school record for 11 varsity letters in 4 years. In the top 15% of her class, an active member of Students Against Driving Drunk and going to Holy Cross. Jeffrey Kelly, 4 years Bay State Conference Swimming All-Conference, 1985 Globe and Herald Swimming All-Scholastic, 1984 and 85 South Sectional 200-meter and 500-meter freestyle champion, 1985 State 500-meter freestyle champion, top 10% of his class, going to Columbia. Mike Kenny, senior resource aide, wrestling team captain, excellent student, top 25% in spite of his hearing impairment, going to Hobart. Jonathan Kent, excellent student and athlete, member of the football team, has done missionary work in Africa and elsewhere. Sports editor of the Hilltopper, essayist for the Rag, National Honor Society secretary, top 10% of his class, attending William and Mary in the fall. Brian Knighton, member of the football indoor and outdoor track teams, DAR Good Citizenship Award winner, attending Brigham Young. Laura LeBlanc, active member of Students Against Driving Drunk, a member of the Substance Abuse Committee, National Honor Society, member of STOP, in the top 15% of her class, and going to Quinnipiac to study physical therapy. Rachel Lerman, outstanding student, prize winner at the Shakespearean Festival last fall, top 25% in her class, winner of 3 awards for her study of Italian, attending Georgetown in the fall. Heidi Lombard, cited as the most responsible senior on the Student Activity Council, National Honor Society Treasurer, Student Activities Council Treasurer, member of soccer, basketball, and lacrosse teams in the top 10% of her class, going to Colby. James Mace, a top student, a computer whiz who designed the program for the Physical Education Fitness Program, National Honor Society, Math Team, German Club, award winner in German, Science Team, Cross Country, top 5% in his class, going to Carnegie Mellon. Nancy Macrina, a leader in 3 sports and a captain of sports, 1984 Globe All-Scholastic, going to Boston College, also in the top 25% of her class. Karen McAdam, another person who made a great comeback academically this year, taking 6 majors and maintaining a high B average in all of her courses, going to LaSalle Junior College in the fall. Louise Nagler, who managed girls soccer for 2 years, basketball and track teams for 3 years. Unusual for a manager, but she won the Sportsmanship Award in soccer, voted by her teammates, and was elected to the Transcript All-Star track team as a manager, quoted by her coaches as a model of excellence for other students, going to UMass Amherst. Paul Newcomb, cited for his assistance in the AV department for 3 years. He's the one who taped the youth on trial. He has taped graduations for the past 2 years, isn't going to do this one, has worked on a number of class projects in the AV department, including basketball and football games, is planning to go to work. Numi Nguyen, one of our Vietnam refugees who came here a few years ago unable to speak a word of English, is now recognized for her high scholastic achievement, her mastery of the English language, her awards in French, in the top 10% of her class, going to Tufts. John O'Brien, number 1 in the class. National Merit Scholar, National Honor Society, track and cross country, math team, science team, academic decathlon team, attending Princeton in the fall. Susan Phillips, advocate editor-in-chief, National Honor Society member, a member of the chorus who did some solo work for us in Europe. In the top 10% of her class, going to Mount Holyoke. Ellen Rennie, National Honor Society, chorus, Grand Award in the Foreign Language Department for her contributions to the foreign language program, a member of the German Club and the math team. In the top 5% of her class, going to Taylor University. Jeff Sommers, class president, captain of cross country, member of the track team, school committee student advisory committee member, National Honor Society, science team, won awards in French, in the top 10% in his class, attending Middlebury in the fall. Abigail Sparrow, a lead in Bye Bye Birdie, a member of the chorus, member of the yearbook staff, active in Students Against Driving Drunk, in the top 20% of her class, going to Boston College. Kathleen Spur, a media aide for over 3 years, a great help to teachers and substitutes and the media staff and all the work that she did. She's going to Mount Ida Junior College to study kennel management. Andrew Timmons, 1984 Bay State Conference, Indoor Track All Conference. 1984 State Class B Indoor Track 300-meter champion. 1984-85 Bay State Conference Outdoor Track All Conference. A fine citizen and student attending Rutgers. Rachel Unanaway, The other advocate editor-in-chief, National Honor Society member, in the top 10% of her class, and planning to attend Mount Holyoke in the fall. John Wilcox, National Honor Society member, fine citizen, a member of the wrestling team. In the top 10% of his class, he is profoundly deaf, and you will notice that he has a reader, an interpreter, explaining tonight's program to him, going to the Rochester Institute of Technology. Janet Wormley, National Honor Society Vice President, a member of the chorus in the top 5% of her class, going to Southern Methodist. Rachel Wolf, Hilltopper editor, member of the academic decathlon team, straight A student, National Honor Society member, in the cast of Bye Bye Birdie and in the chorus. Won French awards the other day at the Foreign Language Department Awards ceremony, in the top 5% of her class and planning to attend Wesleyan. These young people, in my opinion, represent some of the best things that we can boast about at the time of graduation. They are athletes, scholars, musicians, leaders, and workers who have demonstrated responsibility for their own success and shown their appreciation of the rights and welfare of others. Thank you. Would you please take your seats? You want to sing, Andy? I have more speech, but I've just been told that I jumped in first before Andy Crouch. I'd like to introduce to you now that excellent musician that I spoke of earlier. The number that he is going to sing, he wrote himself, and never let it be said that I upstaged Andy.
Andy. Wait 1 sec, okay? All right, this is wicked short. I forgot to say this before, but we usually give a graduation present, and for Mr. Skinner this year, we made a $500 donation to the USA for Africa in Mr. Skinner's name in honor of the class of 1985.
Hi there. This is a song I wrote about 5 months ago. It's called Changes. There comes a time when I believe all these faces so dear to me. It's so hard to let go when I love you so. So what I sing is not a game, not just empty lyrics upon a page. It's something you should know before we leave. 'Cause I've seen many changes in my time with you, and I know more will come before my life is through. But there always will be a part of me that is full of love for you. You've seen me change, you've watched me grow, searching for peace in this troubled soul. You gave me your shoulder to cry on. I've always had you to rely on. But the time for leaving is at hand, moving on to seek the master's plan. And there's so much I should say, so many thanks to send your way, 'cause 'cause I've seen many changes in my time with you. And I know more will come before my life is through. But there always will be a part of me that is full of love for you. There always will be a part of me that is full of love for you. For you.
4 years ago today, I visited the two junior high schools to meet the class of 1985 for the first time. I brought with me the counselors and the first group of senior resource aides. I remember at the time how impressed we were with your courtesy, your attention to my every word, your excitement over being the first freshman class at Needham High School in over 20 years. The truth of the matter was that you were frightened out of your wits, knowing that the real reason for the change to a four-year high school was that nobody wanted ninth graders. You felt unloved, cheated out of being top banana in a junior high school, convinced that your principals and teachers had it chaperoning ninth grade banquets. If you think these eighth graders were frightened, you should have seen their parents a few evenings later. The prophets of doom had spread their rumors, and the freshman parents descended on the auditorium by the hundreds, hoping to be reassured by me and by others that their 14 and 15-year-olds did in fact have a fighting chance to survive the hill, open campus, senior boys with fast cars, Saturday evening dances, and the smoking courtyard. A committee of staff members had worked for 2 years, talked with psychiatrists, reorganized the school, oriented incoming freshman teachers, installed a fast food counter, and strengthened diploma requirements, all in anticipation of your arrival. In spite of all those changes, you are here today, about ready to receive a piece of paper from me that says you have, quote, completed the prescribed course of study and sustained an honorable rank in scholarship and deportment. Now each of you knows in your heart how truthful a statement that really is. But just in case you do not, please let me define it for you. What it says is that back in the office is a transcript which has entered on it the courses which you took for the past 4 years, the grades you received, and the credits you earned. That record will stay there unalterable for the next 60 years. The brightest of you has earned 180 credits, all A grades except for B+ in AP English. The least of you has been a photo finisher, or will be by the end of the summer school, and maintained a solid D- average. But the fact remains, you did complete the prescribed course of study, and you are all entitled to the same piece of paper. Now, as to your honorable rank in deportment, now deportment has nothing to do with being asked to leave the country, although there are 2 or 3 of you that we might have recommended. Deportment is an old word in education. It probably goes back to the 1870s when Needham High School held its first graduation for a class of 7. Deportment then and now refers to your behavior, how you conducted yourself, how well you observed the rules of the school, how you treated other people, how many bathroom walls you defaced, how many classes you skipped and courses you X'd, how responsible you were when you drove your car down the ramp. If deportment were made a more significant part of the diploma criteria, several of you long ago would have had a problem but most of you would not. My experience with you these past 4 years has been nothing less than enjoyable. You have done a fine job of growing up, of proving to the world, your parents, and to younger students that it is indeed possible to survive 4 years of high school. You have shown all of us that there is, in fact, a place in our society for the 9th grade student. You have acquired an at-home feeling about your school that you are going to miss. We will miss you, but you are going to miss more your friends, your teachers who badgered you to do better, your tables in the cafeteria, your chorus family, your teams, your wins, and your losses. While we think you are ready to go on to college and to work, and we want you to go on, the good Lord knows we want you to go on. Your membership in the Needham High School class of 1985 ceases to be the tangible thing, the common denominator that you are sure of each morning. Now you join the ranks of Needham High School graduates. Perhaps you will see a few of your friends from time to time, and perhaps you will hold reunions every 5 years as my class does. But you will grow older, perhaps wiser. You will acquire new friends and new interests, but you will always remember high school. It has been perhaps for each of you and for all of you an enriching and exciting time of preparation, of the development of new skills and talents, of learning how to laugh at living and at yourselves. Perhaps in the final analysis, and when you have forgotten your geometry and your Latin and your square dancing, if we have taught you how to laugh at yourself, that in itself may prove to be our greatest gift to you. Mrs. Shaler and ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present to you the 400 personalities that make up the class of 1985.
To the class of 1985, Webster defines graduate as one who receives a diploma or degree upon completing a course of study. He also defines diploma as a document or certificate conferring some honor, privilege, or degree. Let's define diploma in some more personal way. You have successfully completed 12 or 13 years of public education and are about to receive a diploma. And how does that affect your lives? Many feel that a high school graduation is the primary step into adulthood, a time in your young lives when a great deal of responsibility is placed squarely on your shoulders. For no matter what course you plan to pursue after tonight, college, workforce, armed services, you must do so with an independent nature. For some, this independency will come easy, and adjustments will be made quickly and efficiently. For others, independency is sometimes hard to handle. The fact that missing a day at work or a class at college doesn't require a note from a parent sometimes becomes a heady thing that's difficult to come to terms with. But that is one of the things that is referred to as handling responsibilities, becoming an adult. This high school diploma you are about to receive is your ticket to the future. Without it, your future would not be what we all wish for you. It is one of the most important gifts the adults that have been shaping your lives over the years can give you. Yes, you've worked long and hard for this diploma, but many people have spent countless hours to teach, encourage, cajole, harass, argue, and congratulate in the end. Some may even deserve this diploma more than you do. You must now leave some of this support behind you and face the unknown. You, like many before you, have the opportunity to shape the future, to change what you think is wrong, and to improve what may already be right. Sometimes that can be a frightening idea. At 17 or 18, not everyone is ready or able to accept the concept or the power, and there is nothing wrong with being a little apprehensive of the unknown. But as you accept your diploma today, you accept the future. Take it with a willingness and a confidence to meet every challenge. Robert Frost wrote, "For I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep." Think about that line. I feel it defines what could be an inspiration to your future. And since a promise I made to some members of this graduating class was to keep this speech short, may I congratulate you all and wish you all in well what you do.
Assisting in the presentation of diplomas will be Mrs. Carol Bulris and Mr. John Carroll of the Needham School Committee and Mrs. Norma O'Brien of the Needham High School faculty. Diane W. Abbott. Sean Abely. Robert Eric Abramson. Charles Samuel Adams. John Adams. John Amato. Donna Anastasi. Scott Anderson. Christina Anello. Nancy Arancio. Karen Elizabeth Arcan. Deborah Marie Arduino. Shelley Aaron. Douglas James Atkinson. Joanne Merrill Attridge. Michael Peter Atwell. Janice Marie Avakian. Tanya Avadikian. Kenneth Russell Averett. Kimberly R. Averett. Gary Backstrom. Rosemary Bailey. Sharon Lee Baird. Kevin T. Banks. Douglas R. Barr. Paul G. Barrows. Jennifer Allison Beck. Laurie Lynn Becker. Kevin Bellavance. Jeffrey Bennett. Mary Adrienne Bennett. John Robert Barastecki. Alice I. Bieber. Charlotte E. Bieber. Walter Joseph Billings. Stacy R. Black. Michelle Boldy. Philip Bonacia. Christopher Mark Bond. Cheryl Ann Boucher. Anthony Brascio. Thomas Braley. Deborah Briggs. James William Broderick. Shelley Arnetta Brown. Joseph Bruno. James Christopher Bunny. Robert Wayne Burgess. Joseph Burke. Robert A. Burke. Cynthia L. Burns. Andrew Bosa. Yariella Judith Caballero. Brian Caffrey. Michael E. Canavan. Tara Marie Carey. Timothy William Carey. Nancy A. Carlazon. Patricia L. Carlson. Pamela Carpenter. Mark Carroll. Gregory C. Carter. Patricia Cartwright. Mary Beth Canapang. Joseph Cavallero. Patricia J. Shelley. Cynthia Chatnook. Joseph Savetti. Joanne Clark. William S. Clark. Getting the next team in. Yes, we have. Assisting in the presentations of diplomas will be Mr. John Carroll of the Needham School Committee. Linda J. Cleland. Adam Scott Cole. Julie Ann Connell. Carol Connolly. William F. Connors. Judith Ann Conrad. Todd Cortell. David L. Coven. David V. Cox. Gary M. Cox. Kathleen Ann Chrisley. Tracy Crocker. Timothy Cronin. Lisa Ann Crook. Paul W. Cropper. Andrew B. Crouch. Richard L. Sear. Michelle Tracy Danovich. Barbara Ann Dardinsky. Raya David. Marjorie Ann Dean. Leslie Diane Delock. Anna Marie DeMeo. Jennifer Ann Dercoli. Craig A. DeRosa. Andrea Marie DeSimone. Gina Marie Desimoni. Douglas M. Dyke. Mark Diamond. Eileen F. Doherty. Oh dear. Christine M. Donahue. Elizabeth Ann Duncan. Anne Michelle Duvall. Joanne M. Dwyer. Andrew D. Effenson. Michael B. Eisenstadt. Alyssa Jean Ercolini. Roberta Evelyn Eskenes. Theodore D. Etchings III. Bonnie Lynn Farber. Linda Marie Feeney. Lisa Ann Feeney. Jennifer Ann Fisher. Candice McCourt Fitzgerald. Eric Wilson Fleming. Robert William Fleming. Michelle A. Fling. Whitney Mason Bale. Stephen Edward Francis. Thomas D. Friel. Carl Daniel Frisbee. David A. Fusa. John Anthony Garnham. Michael S. Gatto. Catherine Ann Geary. Douglas H. Janeski. Polly A. Gilman. Jeffrey B. Ginn. Lisa Marie Giametti. Laura B. Goldberg. Karen Faye Goldstein. Andrew D. Gollop. David A. Gollop. Andrew W. Goodman. Forrest John Gould. Maura Rose Graham. Susan A. Greber. Todd Jeffrey Graymont. Leslie Carol Griffin. Stacy F. Gross. Stephen I. Gross. Robert C. Garino. And Carl E. Gundel.
Assisting in the awarding, in the presentation of diplomas to students in C House is Mrs. Mary Ellen Hurd of the school committee and Mr. Ron Medvin of the Needham High School faculty. Arson R. Hagen. Kimberly Ann Halliday. Peter R. Hantman. William T. Harrington. Samantha Hart. Allison Harvey. Kelly Francis Hayes. Eric Haynes. Robert Hearn. Diane Marie Hebert. Michelle Heckel. Susan Dale Hankin. Kirsten Hebert. Michelle Hinden. Kristen Holler. Lisa Horahan. Elizabeth K. Hutter. Don Illingworth. Michael Antonio Jackson. Amy Jacobson. Deborah Johnson. Donna Johnson. Karen Johnson. Okay. Sandra Johnson. Barrett Patrick Johnston. David C. Joy. Veronica Joyce. Jennifer Jerkowski. Brian Carr. Thomas Keenan. Gregory Scott Keith. Jeffrey Kelly. Teresa Kelly. Maura A. Kelly. Cynthia Kelson. Michael Kenny. Jonathan Kent. Christine Kimball. Brian Knighton. Dana C. Koss. Nancy Kostowski. Paula Costa. Karen Krasnow. Kim Creshpain. James LaCroix. Tracy Laffert. Melissa Landy. Laura LeBlanc. Lisa Aline Leveau. Rachel Lerman. Nicole Lescarbo. David Letourneau. Andrew Levine. Lisa Levine. Robert A. Levine. Gavin Littlegill. Norman Arthur Little Jr. Scott Little. Pamela LoCastro. Heidi Lombard. Michael J. Lombardo. William Lombardo. Michael Lurie. Lori Lavazola. Kevin Lowe. Ramon Latazzi. Gail Lynch. Amy McDonald. James Mace. Nancy Macrina. Claire Ann Maha. Susan Elizabeth Mahoney. Ann L. Malcasian. John Malzone. Lori Mann. Ann Martin. Timothy Martin. Pamela Mather. Laura Mataskill. Ariane Denise May. Karen McAdam. John McAward. John McCarthy. William McCourt. Michael McDonald. Tracy McDonald. Paul McDonough. Kathleen McGuire. Kristen McKern. Deborah McLaughlin. Valerie McMahon. Pamela McNair. James McNulty. Kathleen McQuillan. Peter Mead. Lee Medoff. Susan Mendelson. Jennifer Beth Messenger. Billie Jean Milligan. Chester Mills. Karen E. Mitchell. Timothy Moore. Marie Moreno. Peter Moriarty. Stacy Ann Mora. Robert J. Morrow. Susan C. Morris. Julie Morse. Anne Marie Murphy. Jessica Murphy. What? Pamela Murphy. Afterwards. Margaret Murray. Jonathan D. Much. Louise Nagler. Barry Sue Nash. Philip K. Nash. James B. Naughton. Janet Nelligan. Paul Newcomb. Numi Nguyen. Dana Anthony Norton. Michelle Norton.
Assisting in the presentation of diplomas will be Mr. Daniel Matthews of the Needham School Committee, Mr. Robert LaRiviere of the high school faculty. John Patrick O'Brien. John A. O'Connell III. Mara O'Donnell. Amy Joan Ojahome. Christine Marie O'Leary. Terrence William Olson. Daniel Paul O'Neill. Tracy Osler. Christine E.O. Terry. Matthew S. Pacewitz. Adrienne Jean Paglia. Scott M. Palmer. John Panseri. Christine M. Papetti. Richard William Howe Perry. Tracy Peiser. Karen Elizabeth Phillips. Susan Francis Phillips. John R. Persiak. James Pinio. Christine M. Pirro. Frank Pitticelli. Joseph Michael Padouye. Timothy J. Pogarels. Jeffrey N. Papa. Stephanie Lynn Porter. Patricia Catherine Powers. Amanda Marie Popolo. Patricia Virginia Quirk. Bruce A. Ravitch. Allison I. Reed. Ellen Lee Rennie. John W. Rich. Diane Elizabeth Richardson. Michael R. Rizzo. Cynthia Denise Robbins. Gerald M. Robbins. Linda Ellen Robbins. Nancy E. Roca. Michael S. Ronkin. Laura Perry Rosen. Jeffrey David Rosenberg. Philip Rosenberg. Carol Gale Rugg. Richard J. Ruggiero. Stephen Ryan. Laura Elizabeth Sargent. James J. Scannell. Susan Carol Schaefer. Scott E. Slasher. Tim Schmidt. Gregory Francis Seary. Eric Charles Siegel. Stuart M. Siegel. Christopher Martin Shattuck. Amy Lynn Shapiro. Jeffrey Stephen Shapiro. Todd Stephen Shapiro. Eric Shaughnessy. Kristen Marie Shea. Michael E. Sheehan. Marilyn Ruth Scheinkoff. Scott Lyle Sherdut. Kenneth B. Shore. Suzanne Schusterman. Andrew L. Slaggett. Kathleen M. Slow. Judith Elizabeth Smith. Lucinda J. Smith. Patricia P. Smith. Jeffrey P. Summers. Abigail Sparrow. Bonnie Lou Spur. Abby Sponder. Kathleen G. Spur. Timothy J. St. Pierre. Ann L. Stahl. Tracy A. Stark. Tammy Stern. Jay Steve. Walter E. Steve. Nancy Ellen Steinberg. Victoria A. Stetner. Paula Robin Stick. David A. Sullivan. Kimberly Sullivan. Jay Supple. Lisa Tanza. Ellen Denise Taylor. Gregory E. Turkelson. Samuel J. Thomas. Andrea Lynn Thine. And Leah Tiernan. Andrew Timmons. Warren C. Tomkowitz III. Sheena Tompkins. Yael Toppelberg. Tricia J. Tracy. Julie C. Cotton. David M. Tressler. Robert G. Treble. Brian Michael Tripp. Michael Brian Tripp. Laurie S. Trotterman. Brenda M. Tunney. Rachel Ann Unanaway. Nicholas Kurt Valina. Suzanne Vincent. Eric Mongola. John F. Mongola. Douglas M. Boss. John Paul Walsh. Judith Marie Teresa Walsh. Alan Walshman. David A. Wasserman. David H. Webb. Philip David Welch. David Al Wertheim. Damian White. Patricia A. White. Beth Tracy Weiner. John Francis Wilcox. Claudia Beatrice Wilker. Patricia Lynn Williams. Stephen Allen Wilson. Jonathan B. Wise. Andrea Joan Wolf. Robert S. Wood, Jr. Janet K. Wormley. Rachel Ellen Wolf. Susan P. Yampolsky. Karen M. Z.
Would the seniors in the cars please come to the podium, please?
God, today we have honored each graduate for achieving this significant milestone. We thank you for the gifts and abilities you have given each person. Every one of them is capable and special. May the foundation and support given by parents, family, friends, and teachers be strong. May our faith and hope be sure. May each of us trust you, O God, in the new horizons before us. Strengthen us that we might do what is right. Lead us that we might speak for what is true. Protect us from evil in this troubled world. Guide us to be your ambassadors of peace, justice, and compassion. May love be our guide always. We thank you, O God, and celebrate this special moment when the Needham class of 1985 has now entered into a new chapter of life. Bless them. Amen.